The captain almost had to laugh as he watched the convoy. The Federation was either grossly desperate, or they were really just showing the flag rather than planning to support the Hussarians. Tactical, designate the Jeffery frigate and freighter as targets 1 and 2. We'll clean up the rest of the space trash when we are done with the real battle. Get us a target lock, passive sensors only. His eyes skimmed over the strange sensor readings from a number of the human ships. At least he assumed they were all human now. They were second-hand at best, and looked like some of them were several generations out of date despite their interesting modifications. He shook his head in disgust. The humans were new to the Federation, but had become a disgraceful reminder to never let the lesser species get their hands on anything even marginally useful. Hell, it didn't even have to be useful for a human to trade, barter and beg for it. Do we have our lock? Yes, sir. Very well. Fire at will. Firing. Contact in 3, 2, 1. Sir, it's a sensor ghost. The shots went straight through the targets. The ship shuddered, and the world tore into chaos around them. His mind raced. They must have been a frigate running stealth in the wake of the convoy that deployed the decoy drones, but that was far too fast of a reaction time. Damage report. Tactical, find us a target. No new contact, sir. The shot originated from within the convoy. Damage control teams, report. We have a hull breach in the cargo base. They didn't hit anything vital, but whatever it was went straight through the armor. Sir, we have a target. One of the freighters is running hot. She fires some kind of mass driver at us. Looks like she is charging for another shot. Designate target 1. Roll to forward shield arc and fire weapons once you have a lock. The captain sat back in his chair, his hands shaking as he swept over his console to take in the new importation. That ship was... His heart froze in his chest as he looked at the sensor readings. Helm, initiate emergency jump. The compensators hummed around them as they tried to manage the strain. The world went black, then came crashing back into their senses as they re-entered real space a light second away from the convoy. Roll forward shield arc to likely pursuit points. Deploy sensor drones towards those ships. Designate all targets as 1 to 12. Yes, sir. Enemy contacts have entered into a standard Federation formation. He furrowed his brow, tapping his talons on his armrest. Analysis of formation? Sir, that's... Computer has designated this as a carrier escort formation. This must be... New contacts. Priority target found. The central freighter is launching fighters. The captain sat dumbstruck for a moment, his eyes glued to the projection in front of him. Sure enough, at least 2 fighter squadrons had poured from the central ship. The ship rocked a moment later, and dragged him back to reality. Another mass driver shot had splashed into the forward shield from a different ship. The shield wasn't enough to stop the rounds, but it would save them from being called out so long as the armor held. Helm, least time course to the nearest jump lane. Divert power to point defense weapons. But he knew the odds as he watched the distance close. No ship could outrun a fighter, and it seemed the humans had spared no expense on something at least. Tactical. Set and deploy our atomics to burst at minimum safe distance on proximity in likely pursuit trajectories. The tactical officer glanced at him for only a moment before nodding. Yes, sir. We will deploy in 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Atomics away. He watched as the starfighters closed the distance on the sensor display. 3 disappeared in the burst of his atomics. Not nearly enough as he watched the missiles free themselves and burn towards his ship. He closed his eyes right before the explosion that never came. Slowly he opened his eyes to the perfect darkness around him. This was not the afterlife he had thought of, but then he heard the breathing around him. Captain, I don't think anything hit us. Power's gone out, we're dead in the void. I can see that, Ensign. He felt his hand around a moment, then suddenly the emergency lights came alive around him. He squinted a moment. Engineering's alive at least. Ensign, run, go take that Ripper... Slowly another sound groaned through the ship around them. He considered it a moment before the dawning horror rose in his stomach. The forward airlock. Arm yourselves! Boarders!